Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about the Flash movie that's from Miller's in. That's in theaters currently. And it's pretty much just a version of Flashpoint. Barry Allen misses his mother so much that he goes back in time to save his mother. He essentially fucks up the timeline by doing that, and after he sees some parts of the timeline getting fucked up, he goes back in time prevent himself from essentially saving his mother from getting killed. Goes back in time, back to the present before he changed time. Only to find out that there's a few things that has changed due to him going back in time to save his mother. That's the whole premise of Flashpoint. You can watch the animated cartoon. You can watch the Arrowverse version of the Flashpoint. It has ultimately the same plot, but just different takes in this case. And the difference between this version of Flashpoint and the other two Flashpoints, it doesn't have Reverse Flash. Which, if this movie had a sequel, I could have seen them introducing the Reverse Flash. Because I feel like there was like room for Barry Allen, like Nora Allen getting killed by the Reverse Flash, because like we didn't exactly see how she died in this version, so there's still room for the Reverse Flash killing Nora Allen. Anywho, I just said the whole entire plot. Pretty much this movie starts out with like Batman, Batfleck, and Flash saving some people. Essentially, Wonder Woman helps the Flash and Batman. The Flash essentially realizes that he can travel back in time because he traveled back in time like a day before. Like 24 hours, essentially. So he tells Bruce Wayne, and that I can travel, like, he goes to Bruce Wayne and says, I can go back in time, save not only my mother, and prevent my father from falsely taking the fall for my mother's murder. As my screen went black, but essentially Barry Allen tells Bruce Wayne that, in case the screen went, or the audio went in, Barry Allen essentially tells Bruce Wayne that not only can he save his mother from death and his father from getting falsely accused of his mother's murder, but essentially that he can, Barry can save Martha and Thomas Wayne. And Bruce says, yeah, but like, that pain kind of defined me. Like, we don't know how much shit can happen if we go back in time and fix stuff. And so, like, something happens, and Iris West comes over Barry's apartment to talk, and Barry has this wonderful idea to go back in time and prevent his mother's murder, and go back to the present. And what I mean by that is because in this version of The Flash, Nora Allen forgot some tomatoes, right? Which essentially was like one key factor in her murder, that she sent Henry Allen to the store to get some tomatoes so she can finish the pasta. While Henry Allen was away, that's when Nora Allen got killed. Presumably by the Reverse Flash, because all the times I'm aware how Nora Allen dies is by the Reverse Flash's hand. So, presumably by Reverse Flash, even though it never was, like, shown in this movie. Again, I have faith if this movie had, or is going to have, a sequel, then they will go into the Reverse Flash arc. Anyways. So, essentially, Barry goes back in time, puts some tomato in, his mother's cart so she won't forget and so she won't die. And so goes goes back into the Speed Force, which looked pretty decent. Like I'm okay with the Speed Force. It's gonna take me a little while to get used to this Speed Force because I'm so used to the Arrow Force look of the Speed Force that it's gonna take me a hot minute. So this other speedster, who I thought was going to be like Savitar, knocks Barry out of the Speed Force essentially. Barry's mother's alive. Barry's dad's not in jail. They're together. They're one big happy family. Then we see Barry's younger self out. So we get to see Barry and Barry talk to each other. Our Barry doesn't have his powers anymore, but the past Barry doesn't have his powers either. So our Barry helps past Barry get his powers by recreating the accident. Because our Barry travels back in time to the day where he got his powers. So our Barry successful in getting the past Barry powers. So essentially, our Barry meets some of past Barry's friends, which our Barry realizes, oh wait, I can still talk to Bruce Wayne. There's a Batman in this universe, because for some reason, me going back in time and saving my mother causes nobody to have meta powers. So there's no meta humans. Great. So the Barrys go to Wayne Manor, and we see Bruce Wayne pretty much with the Last Jedi Luke Skywalker's hairstyle. And saying that, yeah, Gotham doesn't need me anymore because Gotham's safe. Now it's pretty much the safe haven. This it's filled with rainbows and sunshines. It's not as dark or gritty as like y'all in the real world like to depict it as this dark and gritty crime-filled alley. No, it's not that anymore. And so, essentially, the Barrys goes into the Batcave, do some digging, and this version of Bruce Wayne is played by Adam Driver. Why did I want to say Adam Driver? Michael Keaton, because before it was Ben Affleck. So this Flashpoint is Michael Keaton. And so we see Michael Keaton kind of like contemplating some stuff. And so our Barry says, okay, we need to go to Russia. Great, so Barry goes to Russia with Bruce Wayne as Batman now. They get captured. Essentially, they spot Supergirl. Zod essentially calls for a Kryptonian. Things are playing out similarly to how they did in Man of Steel, essentially with Zod. So, of course, we assume that we are to assume that Zod is looking for Superman, Clark Kent, Sorrel, I forget his, Cal, Sorrel. I think that's his name, right? His Kryptonian name? Kal-El. There we go. There. I've been playing a lot of Star Trek Survivor, so that's probably why I unintentionally called Superman Cal. But anyways, so we are to expect where you're looking for Kal-El. So while they're like Batman and the Flashes are captured, the Flashes and Batman saves this seemingly helpless girl. I say seamlessly because this girl turns out to be Supergirl. And so, like, well, she asked the Barrys, do you know what this symbol means? And then past Barry said Supergirl, but our present Barry, which was funny, present Barry said, Superman. So, I mean, for hope. And she said yes, at least on my planet. And so, they want to, like, stick it to Zod, because Zod's motivation is the same as it was in Man of Steel. Bringing back Krypton. So we see Batman and the Flashes take things to the battleground essentially, while Batman's in the sky, the Flashes are on the ground, and we see past Barry having like refitting one of the old bat suits. Um, Supergirl confronts Zod, saying, "What happened to my cousin? What did he do to him?" And we're to believe that Zod killed Kal-El. So Kara Sor-El, who is not even Danvers in this universe, I'm okay with it. She fights Zod. Zod kills her. Both Barrys go travel back in time. And at this point, like, Batman dies too, because he shoots the ship that pretty much makes his Batwing blow up, essentially. So both Barrys goes back in time to get a second chance. Batman is successful at killing some Kryptonians, but Michael Keaton's Batman dies. Words are leaving me. Supergirl dies both times by Zod. So both Barrys are goes into the Speed Force. Barry tries to tell his younger self, "This is fixed time. We can't do anything." But younger Barry doesn't want to hear that, so he keeps on trying to create an outcome where Bruce or Batman and Supergirl live, but it doesn't happen. And then Black Flash shows up, and Black Flash is the future version of the past Flash that kept on trying to keep both Supergirl and Batman alive. And so essentially, Barry Allen says, "Yeah, we have to learn to let go because our mother will be alive in at least at some timeline, not just ours." And then Black Flash, who I thought was Savitar, I guess the difference between Black Flash and Savitar is that Black Flash was an alternate version of Barry that was in the past if he tried to keep saving his mother. Savitar was Barry in the future if Barry lost Iris Rest. At least the Arrowverse version of Savitar is. So essentially, past Barry dies, sacrifices himself to save present Barry. Present Barry goes back in time to take the tomato that he put in his mother's cart out. Emotional scene. And then, boom, Barry is back in the present. He is going to the court because before he left, he's going to, it was his father's court, it was his father's court hearing to see whether or not, I guess to have him be in Iron Heights for the rest of his life or get freed. And there's evidence that proves that Henry and Barry Allen's testimony, I should say, are true. So Henry Allen's free. We get a happy ending. Bruce Wayne calls Barry. Barry tells Bruce everything that happened, and we see Bruce Wayne get out of the car. But wait, it's not Bat Flash. It's not Michael Keaton. It's not CGI Adam West. It's not not Christopher Lee. Dark Knight Rises, Christian Bale. It's not Christian Bale. It's not even a new Batman. It's George Clooney. And Barry's like, "Who are you? You're not Batman." And Bruce Wayne tries to play it off "What's wrong with you?" But I feel like that was kind of a double-sided "what's wrong with you?" Bruce Wayne saying, trying to come off "what's wrong with you?" And, dude, what's wrong with you? You're practically telling everyone who I am. The end of the movie. Which I didn't realize until I was watching the stream that they are essentially setting George Clooney as potentially the DCU's Batman. I know this movie is supposed to be the future of the DCU's in shambles, and now how like no, James Gunn is like replacing a shit ton of actors for their respective roles, but keeping like some of the actors from Suicide Squad as their respective characters. So I wonder, in that Batman movie that James Gunn announced earlier this year, that if George Clooney is going to be the Batman that we're going to get, or is it going to be a different Batman? I feel like now, like, unless if they say that, okay, Barry, like, the Flash movie took place in, like, either an Elseworld or, like, a different Earth, that George Clooney has to be a has to come back to be Batman in the next Batman movie that's connected to the Gun first. But I actually enjoyed the movie. Like, I enjoyed it. Now I know it's a hit or miss. I understand why it's a hit or miss. I understand the cases for people who disliked it. I also understand the cases for the people who do like it. I'm in the middle. I liked it. It's not the best movie I've seen or best comic book movie I've seen. It's not the worst comic book movie I've seen. It is an alright comic book movie, and that's alright. I'm okay with that. Some may say the whole drama with Ezra Miller played a role in this, of why the Flash isn't making as much money as it could be, and we're still in as I'm recording this, the first weekend of the Flash, so there's still room for the Flash to have a 360 and pow, and there's a freaking fly. But anyway, have a 360 and pow! And, make a lot of money. It could easily be DC's biggest movie in a while. Or it could be another flop how Shazam was. And Shazam I actually enjoyed quite a bit more than this movie, to be honest. I'm talking about the second Shazam movie that just came out not so long ago. But, The Flash, there are a few things that were kind of going for it, and I kind of think this, if she still has her stream up, I will, link in the description for you guys, but I agree with Saggy Melonz. How, I feel like doing, multiple, premiere showings of The Flash could, I feel like that can also be a factor into why The Flash isn't doing so good at the moment. That and they didn't let Ezra Miller address anything that he has been accused of or alleged, because what he was accused of, what he got in trouble for, was some pretty serious things. Whether he did it or not, I'm not entirely sure. Do I think that Ezra Miller deserves a redemption arc? From what I've seen, or what I've heard us to say, maybe. Because I do also believe that everybody is capable of changing for the better. That everybody deserves that shot, that crack of redemption. Robert Downey Jr. is a good case for someone who did some lousy things. But he redeemed himself. He got his shit together. And they even, Jon Favreau fought for Robert Downey Jr. to be Iron Man. And now, sure, I bet, Robert Downey Jr. still has some people that dislikes him for what the shady shit that he's done in the past, sure. But at least for the most part that I've seen, he's beloved. Everybody loves him as Iron Man. Doctor Doolittle, maybe, I don't know. Sherlock, I feel like there's a good amount of people that loves him as Sherlock Holmes. But like practically I say practically, but pretty much everyone and their mothers loves him as as Tony Stark, Iron Man. And I'm so happy for him. So happy for him. I'm so happy for Robert Downey Jr. to get his shit together. And I feel like Ezra Miller is on that path too. Redemption can be a somewhat long and hard road, and I am rooting for Ezra Miller. I really am. But there, like I said, there is like few factors of why like this movie potentially isn't like doing as good as it could be, and like the whole like DCEU reboot, I strongly feel is like one thing that is kind of working against this, because like some fans might not want to see this film because the chances of us getting a Flash 2 with Ezra Miller, I don't know how likely it is. Like, with the same director, same actor, I don't know. Again, if they do make a sequel to this film, I would like them to explore the whole Reverse Flash story arc, because they did the whole Flashpoint bit in this movie. Great. Now, since we got that out of the way, if we're getting a Flash 2, let's get into the Reverse Flash story arc. We already casted Henry Allen. We already casted Nora Allen. So let's get a Reverse Flash into the mix on the big screen, and let's see what has been already established as Nora's murder to the Ezra Miller's Flash, and let's expand on that bit. Let's kind of see how the Reverse Flash used that knife to kill Nora Allen. Like when Henry Allen was at the store to get those tomatoes. I want to see that. I think that would be cool. Like, man, that would be cool. I know, like, some people are saying that they're mad that they didn't show the whole Flashpoint, not Flashpoint, Reverse Flash bit, and it kind of felt weird not seeing Reverse Flash in this Flashpoint either. But, like I said, I feel like they still have that door open to, like, if they do have a sequel, to have the Reverse Flash story, explore that. So, like, I feel like if we get out Flash 2 and we see Reverse Flash in there, and it beautifully ties into this movie, then okay, I can be okay with not seeing Reverse Flash in this movie. That's just me personally. But this movie I feel like is a decent movie. Again, it's not the best movie I've seen or best comic book movie I've seen. It's not the worst comic book themed movie I've seen. But it's decent. It's a decent movie in my opinion. I don't love it. I don't hate it. I just enjoyed myself while watching it. The CGI is like, I'll admit the CGI is crap. And a crap ton of people are saying that too. It could be better. But I enjoy the movie. And would I recommend this? I think this is like at least one watch through. Whether you watch it in the theaters, whether you watch this on streaming, whether you borrow a digital version or a DVD or Blu-ray from a friend, watch this on a streaming service. I think Flashpoint is deserves at least one watch. But yet again, if you guys are in the camp where I don't want to watch this movie due to whatever reason, I totally understand. Just my personal opinion, this movie was definitely watch worthy. So, anyways, what do you guys think about the Flash movie? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And I had to bust out my favorite Flash shirt just for this review. So I totally ruined what I was going to say. Anyways, later, taters.